A verdict against the man accused of attempting to assassinate the president. Ryan Ruth's reaction that got him dragged from the courtroom.
Plus, two state lawmakers hold a meeting in Rockford. The priorities addressed today by the Illinois representatives.
And an expansion to a park in development in the Pretzel City. How one resident's donation doubles the size of a new pocket park.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We thank you for being here. Tonight at 5, the man charged with attempting to kill then presidential candidate Trump in September is found guilty.
Authorities say Ryan Ruth attempted to stab himself in the neck with a pen after the verdict was read. He was convicted on all 5 counts, including attempted assassination of a major presidential candidate. Officers swarmed and dragged Ruth out of the courthouse. His daughter screamed, saying she loved him and will get him out. Police arrested Ruth last September after they found him hiding in the bushes of Trump's golf course with a rifle in Florida. Ruth represented himself during the trial. The man faces life in prison. He's set to be sentenced in December.
Tonight at 5, Janesville police arrest a man they say fired a gun inside his car with children present. Daniel Cordova now faces a long list of charges, including first-degree endangering safety and domestic violence. Officers say they responded to Milton Avenue this morning for reported gunshots. The victim says she was sitting in her parked car with Cordova and 2 kids in the backseat when some argument broke out. She says Cordova pulled out a gun and then fired a shot. No one was hurt. Authorities say he was picked up by another driver before he was later picked up by police and arrested. He's in the Rock County Jail tonight. Eyewitness News is committed to supporting survivors of domestic violence. There are several resources available in our community. Head to our website, mystateline.com, to find them and click on the State Line Strong tab.
A Rockford man learns he'll spend over 6 years in federal prison. 37-year-old Wesley Smith was sentenced to 77 months on firearms charges. In May of 2024, police say they found Smith illegally owning a loaded gun. He is a previously convicted felon. He pleaded guilty to the charge earlier this year.
This week, construction begins on 2 overpasses along I-90. According to the Illinois Tollway, the Harlem Road Bridge will be closed to traffic tomorrow. A detour will be taking place, taking drivers north to 173. The Rote Road Bridge will also be closed starting Friday. A detour there will take drivers north to Spring Creek. The Tollway says both bridges are just too narrow to remain open during the repairs. It's not clear, though, when construction will be finished, but workers expect it to last into next month.
More visitors are treating the Rockford area as a destination. Go Rockford presented the findings of the 2024 Illinois Tourism Economic Impact Report to the city's Finance and Personnel Committee last night. Last year, visitors spent more than $520 million in Rockford and Winnebago County. That's up over $5 million from the year before. Go Rockford is crediting factors such as the Ironman race and the casino for the growth. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll take a closer look at the latest tourism numbers. State Democrats gather for a roundtable discussion on the economy and how to grow it. State Representative Dave Vella and Illinois House Speaker Chris Welch hosted the event as part of a statewide tour about how state resources can be best used. Representative Vella says tackling high energy costs is one of his priorities as the veto session approaches.
It's obviously a priority for the people here when you see how high the electric bills are, but also how important it is to business development. I know that there are other issues in the city of Chicago, but for the Rockford area, obviously energy is going to be most important and business development is going to be most important. And that's where I've really been focusing my time over the last 5 years.
The fall veto session is coming up next month.
A new app designed to improve the court experience for those in Winnebago County is now live and available. The Winnebago County Circuit Clerk's Office unveiled its new smartphone app. It was developed in partnership with govapp.com. It features search court cases, Zoom links for online court jury duty info, and you can pay your fine or fees online. The app is available in the Google Play and the App Store.
We're learning more about a new service that'll bus travelers from the Rockford Airport to their flight at O'Hare. We first told you about American Airlines Landline in July. The service will allow passengers to go to RFD for TSA and bag check and then travel by coach bus to catch their flight in Chicago. A similar service is already in effect in areas in the Northeast. Rockford Airport leaders hope this partnership will lead to expansions.
As we start to get more and more service with this and American sees more and more use, it gives us the business case to not only sell additional air service in Rockford for American, but then go to Allegiant and work with them on destinations, or go to United, go to other airlines and say, hey, we have a customer base that's waiting for this type of service, and they're already getting there through a one-stop connection through American on a bus.
Service is expected to begin next month.
A public park under construction in Freeport will now be twice its initially planned size.
Great throw! All right.
We told you earlier this year about the city's new pocket park. The space on West Stevenson Street was funded by a grant from T-Mobile. Well, today, as you just saw, ground was broken on an expansion. One resident donated a vacant land to developers, which will allow the park now to be 120 feet long and 83 feet wide. Just a little pocket, I guess. The goal of the park is to further revitalize downtown Freeport.
I think for everyone to come down and enjoy, be proud of the space, use the space, feel like take some ownership, this is part of their community, and realize that when you come downtown, this is just a great place to linger, you know, enjoy the shops and restaurants that are here, and enjoy this wonderful outdoor space as well.
Construction of the pocket park is expected to be completed in the spring.
The governor signs an executive order aimed at tightening the state's budget.
When we come back, we'll hear responses from an economic expert and from a state Republican on today's order.
And coming up tonight at 6, it's International Day of Sign Language. How one Rockford teachers using sign language to connect with their students.
We see a couple of very isolated showers forming mostly to the south of us here this evening. Temperatures did manage to make it to 80 degrees once again, and we've got several more 80-degree days on the horizon. Find out when we can expect that heat to return coming up in the forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Sports Director Scott Lever, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Governor Pritzker asking state agencies to tighten their budgets.
He signed an executive order this morning asking departments to find a way to save 4%. Pritzker says that will blunt the economic effects of the Trump administration, including tariffs and budget cuts. One fiscal expert says that's a major cut for Illinois agencies.
The governor is putting his administrative agencies in a relatively tough position, but I mean, you know, he does have to insulate the state from the magnitude of the fiscal challenges that are going to be coming from the federal level.
Illinois House Minority Leader Toni McCombie responding to this executive order. She said in part, quote, "We warned that this budget was irresponsible and overspent. Stop passing blame, Governor. Illinoisans aren't buying that recent policy changes in Washington, D.C. are to blame for the decades of Illinois financial mismanagement."
Health officials in the state are issuing their own guidelines for vaccines this fall. The Illinois Department of Public Health says nearly everyone should get the COVID shot, with the exception of children ages 2 through 17 who don't have risk factors. Last week, the CDC chose not to recommend the shot for anyone. Illinois is also recommending the flu shot for everyone over 6 months old. The guidance comes from the Vaccine Advisory Committee, made up of 20 people here in the state, called highly qualified experts. The numbers are out for this summer's state fair in Springfield. It was the second largest turnout in history. The governor says more than 723,000 visitors came through the gates in the capital city. Sales were also up in 2025 for admission, booklets, mega and jumbo passes. Camping numbers increased dramatically, as well as the Megan Maroney concert. It broke the grandstand attendance record set last year by Lil Wayne, with more than 15,000 tickets sold. Temperatures starting to warm up here in Statewide.
When we come back, Candace lets us know just how warm it could get later this week in her full forecast. Coming up next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, you can really see that cloud cover grow throughout this afternoon when we look at our time-lapse camera here across downtown Rockford. Those cumulus clouds billowing up, a sign that we had just a little bit of instability out there, but not enough to really allow a few showers to develop ahead of a cold front that continues to work down to the south here this evening. But with that south front, I should say, now settling along and south of Interstate 88, we do have a few isolated showers, and even some thunderstorms now starting to develop, primarily over parts of Whiteside County, there across the far southwest section of Ogle County, moving into northwest Lee County. Most of this activity is going to stay south of the Rockford area, and we'll see more isolated activity across our southern counties through sunset as that front continues to work to the south. You get to the north of that, you're entering into a little bit more of a stable environment, and we can see those thunderstorms, or at least the isolated activity, forming right along that front as that continues to work down to the south. Now, temperature-wise, our numbers are cooling with our wind turning in from the northeast. We're currently at 74 right now in Rockford, 76 in Rochelle, 70 our temperature up in Janesville, and we've even got the upper 60s a little bit further off to the northwest. So there is some relatively cooler air coming in compared to what we were earlier this afternoon. 77 this last hour for our weather watcher Jean down in DeKalb. Relative humidity at 57%. Our weather watcher Terry there had 76. Dew point temperature at 67. So we're still hanging on to that moisture. And with that moisture and the front coming through, that's why we see that isolated shower thunderstorm chance working down to the south throughout this evening. Temperatures will continue to drop back. Now, whatever clearing we get with some drier air moving in, I think is replaced with some cloud cover as moisture is pulled in off of Lake Michigan here tonight with that northeasterly wind. So we'll see our skies turn mostly cloudy, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get some fog when you wake up tomorrow morning. Temperatures tonight will drop down into the upper 50s. We're back into the low 70s for tomorrow after a cloudy start. Cloud cover then starts to break up once we get into the afternoon. Fog is likely to develop then again going into tomorrow night. Same thing for Thursday, but some drier air comes in with more of a northwest shift in our wind direction before we turn back around to the southwest and warm those temperatures heading into the weekend. So 59 degrees, that's where we'll head for the night tonight. We've got cloud cover moving in, isolated shower thunderstorm primarily to the south of us, and then some patchy fog developing late. 73 for tomorrow, kind of a foggy, cloudy start, and then partly sunny. Winds will pick up just a little bit once we get into tomorrow afternoon, so it does get a little breezy with the northeast wind. After that, we continue that warming trend heading into the weekend. Temperatures are back into the 80s, all thanks to the way our jet stream develops. So we've got kind of a couple things going on. You've got the warmth down to the south. We've got a little dip in the jet stream here across the Great Lakes, and then another system moving across the Central Plains. These two features will kind of work together and merge together to create a bigger dip in the jet stream, which allows some of that cooler air to kind of filter in. I mean, relatively speaking, it actually just brings us back closer to where we should be for the end of September. But notice what happens once we get beyond that. We start to see that warmth really begin to build as another ridge of high pressure builds in, and that keeps our temperatures in those 80s, and it limits that rainfall chance. Unfortunately, our overnight lows will be comfortable. Those numbers are back down in the 50s.
Thank you, Candace.
Scott's next with sports.
The Cubs will try to right their ship tonight as they open up a series against the Mets.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Baseball is always exciting when there's something on the line in the final week of the regular season. And there's very much something on the line for the Cubs this week. That top wild card spot and home field advantage in the wild card round. They lead the Padres for that top spot by 2.5 games. The Cubs' remaining 6 regular season games this week will all be played at Wrigley Field. Tonight, they have red-hot Cade Horton ready to go against the Mets. Cubs have this 3-game series and then 3 against the Cardinals. Cubs want to get back on track here and create some energy after a dismal series in Cincinnati. As for Kyle Tucker, his ailing calf still isn't quite right.
I mean, I'm sure I'll probably feel a little bit the rest of the year. I mean, obviously the goal is to not feel anything and feel good to go and stuff, but we'll just kind of see how the next couple days or so go. I mean, hitting and throwing, for the most part, I've felt relatively normal. It's really just the running aspect that's kind of been bothering me. So I've just been trying to get better at that.
While the Cubs are hosting the Mets tonight, the Padres will once again host the Brewers. The Blackhawks are going to hit the ice tonight for the first preseason game. It'll be in Detroit. New Blackhawks head coach Jeff Blashill is ready for some preseason game action.
When you start camp, you're excited to practice, and by day 6, you're ready for a game, and then probably a week from now, I'll be ready for real games, but it'll be good. It'll be good to get on the ice and see. The guys will be a little tired, so they're going to have to grind through, but as you guys know, lots of nights you got to play tired, so we'll have to grind through it a little bit, and then they'll get a good day off tomorrow.
Blackhawks Cup regular season opens October the 7th against the Panthers. Fighting Illini coach Brett Bielema's had some time to study the game film in the Illini's blowout loss at Indiana Saturday night. He didn't like it any better than the actual game that he saw from the sideline. The Illini just plain got whipped 63-10 by an Indiana team that was playing with a no-respect chip on its shoulder. USC comes in undefeated this weekend at 4-0.
Extremely talented. You know, we didn't play them last year, but we did cross over and watch them quite a bit. And you know, I've known Lincoln for a while, not personally, but just, you know, followed his career at Oklahoma, USC, and what they've done offensively, what they've done especially at the quarterback position. This guy falls right in line with it. Got a lot of good skill on the outside. I think for us defensively, you know, the challenge is going to be able to keep the ball in front of us, stop the big plays from happening.
We'll have the Illini-USC game Saturday on Fox 39. Kickoff will be at 11 a.m. The Fox Kickoff pregame show will also be held in Champaign for the first time with a crew that includes Brady Quinn, Urban Meyer, and Matt Leinart. That starts at 9 a.m. on Fox 39. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Before we go, NASA's Curiosity rover captured stunning views on Mars.
This panoramic shot is actually 44 separate images that were stitched together by NASA this week. The images were captured a month ago during exceptionally clear conditions. It's winter on Mars right now, which is a time when dust in the air is at its lowest. The Curiosity rover's been exploring the slopes of Mount Sharp inside the red planet's Gale crater for years, looking for clues about Mars' watery past. That's fascinating, isn't it?
It looks like a desert
Mountain,
out west
yeah.
or something.
It does, I agree.
And I guess I didn't realize they've named like the slopes and all that already.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very nice. It's gonna be nice and warm here, though.
Yeah. I mean, we've got some heat coming up. Right now, we've got a few isolated showers developing along the front to the south. It'll fog out there tonight, 59, 70s, and then back into the 80s by the weekend.
Thank you, Candace.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 6.